Back with Paul again today for his third session. If you remember, if you've watched the previous ones, the first session we had him hitting shots with his eyes shut, doing the swinging legs exercise, and also making sure that his arms weren't too stiff in the swing. So that was an interesting session. In the second session we worked on trying to get him to hit more from the inside because his swing plane was a little bit too steep. Now the interesting thing was that there was a resistance there. I could sense it in that second session, and today I want to see if we can try and really expose why that resistance was there. I feel there must be something going on in his head that makes him feel like he needs to swing the golf club up and down rather than more around. So let's see if we can try and expose that in the session today. That's coming up in the video right now. Okay then Paul, let's see you hit a couple of shots.
Once so good.
Okay, right, so just step in there and just think about the things that we talked about in those first couple of sessions. I just want to go over them and just check to see how you're getting on with them. La Dance to Golf, can you show me how you get on with that? And do you still practice it?
I do, yes. You do? I do, want to warm up first, yes. Just gives you that little bit of balance and feel, doesn't it?
Yeah, good. A little bit more turn on both ends of that would help.
A bit wider.
That's better. Good, good, good. Okay, and then thinking back to those first sessions, do you remember we did the three things? We had your eyes shut, we did bending your arms in the backswing, do you remember that?
We did, yeah.
Yeah. That look tells me that maybe that wasn't top of mind. And the final thing was letting the heel move off the, and so we did the swinging legs exercise and all that. So basically get yourself moving more. What I'd like you to concentrate on the next couple of shots is just that idea of bending the arms a little bit more and allowing them to be a bit softer in the backswing, not so stiff effectively.
Okay.
Okay? Oops.
I'm thinking a bit too much now. I'm
okay.
Between the two.
If I was to ask you in those shots there, particularly those ones you just hit, how relaxed you felt on a scale of 0 to 10, what would you say?
About 3. Didn't feel very relaxed at all.
Well, so 1 being high and
it actually felt quite. Yeah, I was unrelaxed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if that being the case, so 4, 5, 6 would be more relaxed. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So if we could try a couple of shots and see if we can get, let's say, the other side of 5. Let's see how that would feel.
Try and be more relaxed.
Try and be more relaxed, and as I said, allowing the arms to bend as you swing back, just sort of feeling more relaxed in your arms.
That was a bit better.
A bit better, wasn't it? Yep. Good. Okay.
That did feel a little looser then, just a little
bit more relaxed.
Yeah, a little bit more relaxed.
So would you give that a number?
Probably halfway somewhere. Just
so
felt a little. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can go up a little bit further then. Let's just see what there is the other side, perhaps up close to the limit. So maybe going up to an 8 or 9 or something like that. Really kind of floppy and relaxed, and just see what happens.
I think I might fall asleep.
Might fall asleep. Okay. So that's feeling a bit more relaxed than you were before.
Yeah, it takes a few shots to get into it as well, doesn't it? It's
yes,
hard to go from one to the other.
One to the other.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a hard transition, isn't it? Some golf trips are just a round with a scorecard. This is going to be something completely different. Here you'll feel the history under your feet, the spirit of the game in the air, and it will be the truest links experience you'll ever have. This July we'll be hosting 14 golfers to come and play over the course of 5 days, 4 rounds of golf at Prince's, Royal St George's and Royal Cinque Ports, some of the greatest links courses of all time. They've been played by the legends of the game over the years, by people like Gene Sarazen, Bobby Jones, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Seve Ballesteros, fantastic players that have walked these very fairways. You'll feel the history, embrace the challenge, and play the game as it was meant to be played, where the land shapes the shot and the elements test your skill. You'll be guided by 2 easier swing coaches, helping you to unlock your best game. No big overhauls in your swing, just free and easy golf and playing in its purest form. So if you're ready for a links adventure and you want to walk in the footsteps of the legends and play golf that feels as good as it looks, just go to easiestswing.com. But act fast, there's only 14 spots available. But I'm going to ask you another question, and that is that we obviously want to hit the ball consistently, we want to hit it straight. So how do you hit a golf ball straight? What's the critical thing?
Try and keep the face of the club the direction you want it to go.
Right.
For as long as you can.
Okay, so the club face square to the target.
Square to the ball and the square to the target, sorry,
Yeah. Okay. For as long as you can.
Yeah.
Okay. And anything else? Anything else about what do you do when you try and swing the club?
Well, not quite sure really, because it's not quite going right, is it?
But would you say is the shape of the swing? What is anything you think about? What you
Yeah,
do?
I mean, previously when I swing, I'm trying to keep the club face, trying to keep the club square to the target as long as possible.
Yeah.
Come through and just try and square.
Would you say then that, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're trying to swing the club straight as well as keep the club face square?
Yes, trying to, yeah, for as long as I can.
Okay. Now, there's an interesting thing about that is that this is a very common thing that a lot of golfers do, is they try and think that if I keep the club face going towards the target, that's going to help me to hit it straight. And they think that if they want to swing the golf club in a straight line as well.
Seems to make sense to me.
It does seem to make sense. Except that when we swing a golf club, it swings on an arc around us. As you can imagine, it's a big circle, effectively, a golf swing. And when you look down at that golf swing, you're looking at it from above, because the golf swing, the plane of the golf swing, cuts through your body about this kind of angle here. So your eyes are well above the top of that curve.
So you can't really see that curve, can you?
Well, you can't, but if you can imagine it, it would actually help. And so if you were to be, let's say, for example, if you could have eyes in your belly button and you could look straight down the swing path, it would look straight. But from where your eyes are, over the top, it will appear a curve. So it's not straight at all in actual fact. It's actually a rounded curve all the time. So what I'd like you to do is to bear that in mind in the next couple of shots and just think of the feeling of the swing being a round action rather than a straight one.
Rather than a straight action.
Okay then, Paul, let's swap places a second, and I'm just going to demonstrate a couple of things to you there about what we've been talking about. So you've been feeling in the past that you were trying to swing the club in a straight line and you were trying to keep the club face square to the target for as long as possible, particularly kind of through the ball, because that would help you to hit it straight.
Keep it straight, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the strange thing about that is that the golf club only needs to be square for one moment in the swing, and that's the moment you're striking the golf ball. It isn't going to be square at any other point in time. It's not going to face the target at any other point in time. What happens in a golf swing is the club face actually turns to one side and then turns the opposite way on the other side of the swing. Just demonstrate that for you a second and just watch how when the golf club's coming back there, you can see it's not facing towards the target now, it's facing sort of over that way. And when I go through the golf ball to the other side, see how the club face is now facing back towards the back wall there. It's not facing towards the target. And if I allow myself to do that by turning it from there to there, the strange thing is, at the moment at the bottom of the swing, it's going to be square. It will naturally square itself. Okay. So you can allow the club face to actually open and close through the swing. But at the same time, the other thing that we saw was that you've been attempting to try and make the golf club swing straight. And as I said, it wants to actually come around on a curve. And it's that part of it that I would like you to concentrate in these next shots, is basically allowing the golf club to come around here rather than go straight back up here. Okay, so it's just coming around you. And basically by the time it's about hip high here, it's going to be, the club head will be about somewhere by your right hip. So it's coming around you there, and then it's going around the other side. So it's a round action, not a straight one.
Okay.
Just see what happens. How does that feel?
Feels like it's going a little straighter.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm sure it feels very strange to you, doesn't it? Just show me a swing and then stop when you're halfway back. Okay. So that feels to you as if it's further back this way than you're
I feel normally I'm up there. I'm right up high. I'm trying to
come around.
To come
and
around.
Again, notice the relationship between La Dance to Golf and that feeling. it feels more kind of connected as you're going around there, rather than
up there.
Rather than up there. Yeah, that's it. So don't be frightened in these next few shots. Have a go and see if you over exaggerate it. You might do it too much. Doesn't matter. It's worth a try.
It does tend to be going a little straighter. I mean, I'm not obviously catching every one.
No.
But it does. I tend to hook everything left normally.
Yeah, and I think that's looking like a better shape in the swing. We'll talk about one or two other things that need to sort of go with it in due course. But for now, what I want you to keep concentrating on is not being frightened to exaggerate that shape, because I think it probably feels very strange to you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look strange to me.
It looks
better.
Yeah, it looks better.
So it looks better. So let's just do that one more time, and then we'll start seeing if there's anything else we can do to make that even better still.
That felt really good.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Good.
It's definitely going a little straighter.
It's going straighter, isn't it?
Yes.
The plane of the swing
It's changed.
is better. It's more on the right kind of path now. So what I'd like to think about now is if you can set yourself up to the ball again, and let's just have a look at the ball position relative to what you're doing. Now, your ball position there at the moment is pretty close to your left heel. For just that line across your toes. So yeah, we go right angles to that. Yeah, it's pretty close to the left heel.
So I'm a little too far forward.
And that, yeah, you're right, because what that encourages is it encourages that up and down swing rather than the more round one. So now the swing's a bit more round, you need that ball to come a little bit further back
Into the middle.
Yeah, and it will encourage that movement as you're going. Well done. Feel a little different?
Yeah. Felt like it's quite nice out in the middle of the club as well.
Yeah. So if you've just found easiest swing, just come and join the thousands of golfers around the world who are finding an easier way to play the game. It's not technical, it's not difficult, anybody can do it, and you can improve your game in the simplest possible way. You just need to check out our website, easiestswing.com. You can sign up for our newsletter. We've also got the Positive Impact Golf book there, where you can download the first few chapters and get a look at that, see what you think. And if you want to, you can get the rest of the book, and you can also have a look at our new book, The Easiest Swing in Golf. So I hope you enjoy those resources. easiestswing.com. Good. Well done. So if we put all those things together now, the key here now is remembering it's a round swing. That's really important to you.
Rather than up.
Rather than up. That's it. And being relaxed. That's, I mean...
Yeah, I do still feel a little bit tight, to be fair.
And going into a strange position, a strange direction, is probably going to make you even more tight.
Yeah.
So you have to be really conscious to let yourself relax. And then once you're doing that, and you've got the ball sort of centered more in the middle of your stance rather than too far forward, it really should encourage this nice round action. And if we can forget, I don't want you to actually do anything deliberate, but forget trying to make the club go square.
Yep.
Just let it swing where it wants to go. We're going to start seeing some better results. I'm sure we will.
Have another couple?
Please, yeah. That's a new shape, isn't it?
It is a new shape. It always normally just hooks off to the left.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm quite centre in the club, centre of the club with the ball.
That didn't sound quite.
No, but it's.
But that doesn't really matter.
No.
If that was the result when you haven't hit it out the middle.
You take it every time, wouldn't you?
Now going right back to the first lesson, what did you tell me you wanted? What was the thing, one particular thing that would actually make a difference to your game?
Consistency.
Consistency.
Just a little bit of consistency, yeah.
What are we starting to see?
Yeah, those few in a row, they're quite nice, quite sweet, yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? So doing it in a very different way from the way you were before probably feels quite unnatural to you at this stage in time.
The ball does feel like it's too far in the middle of my stance now, where I'm always normally off my front foot.
Yeah. You see, the problem with that is that the ball in the front part of the stance just encourages the straight up and down backswing. It doesn't encourage you to bring the club round. Whereas when you bring the ball further back in your stance, now you kind of think, how am I going to hit this?
You're going to have to go round,
You're going to have to go round. And that's something that I think is very important to you to develop as you go along with this.
Yeah, I just drifted back to my old. I just felt that then. It was just wasn't right, was it?
Have a practice swing.
Yeah.
Have a dance to golf. Just have a little moment or two just to feel what you're doing.
It just goes back, doesn't it? Just...
Oh, of course. We all suffer with that. Just envisage the golf club coming around you as you're doing that. That's it.
And that last one, you could just see, it just felt, I couldn't stop swinging, but it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Definitely better. It's
Yeah.
definitely better.
You feel the difference?
Yes.
Good.
But it is remembering to put it all into practice.
Yeah. And then remember to relax.
Yeah, that's quite
There
sweet.
we go.
That was a little more relaxed and a little more.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So well done, Paul. That's been a good progress today. Some difficult stuff for you to change there because it's very new to you, very different. Changing the path of your golf swing is quite difficult. It's not really an easy thing to do. I mean, changing other bits of your swing, not too difficult, but it's very difficult to take the golf club into a place that you're very unfamiliar. So, it needs a bit of practice. But as I said, the main things, get that Le Dance de Golf, keep practicing that. And when you're practicing that, envisage the golf club coming around in that kind of curve as you're doing it. It will help you to get away from that straighter backswing. So that's very important. Doing that Le Dance de Golf, make sure you get as good a turn as you can when you're doing it. So you want your shoulders to come round at 90 degrees. You may need to move that left heel a bit more be able to actually get round there. But practicing Le Dance de Golf is really going to help you. And then observe yourself. Think about that level of tension in your golf swing and thinking about, you've numbered it as 2 or 3 being very high and coming that right the way down to sort of 8 or 9 being much more relaxed, much more supple. You could feel it in that last shot.
Yeah, it was sweet, the last shot.
Sweet, it was more relaxed, it was easier, a little bit slower, took a bit more time over the shot. You've got a tendency to rush the shots as well, particularly if you hit the last one badly.
Yeah, I feel like I want to hit another one.
Yeah, and remember we had a talk about that before, and that's not you want to kind of take your time over the good shots that you hit. Stop, think about them. When you hit a bad shot, just dismiss it, but don't necessarily rush to the next one. Take some time. Give yourself time to clear that out of your mind and put back into your mind what it is you do want to do, the feeling of the good shots you're going to hit. Let's just do one more time and then let's call that a day for today. That's been a very nice session. Well done, Paul.
Yeah, pleased with that.
Yeah, that's
really,
good, isn't it?
Really pleased, yeah.
Well done indeed. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Okay, that's been a really enjoyable session today with Paul, really looking at exposing 1 or 2 misconceptions he had in his mind. Very common misconceptions as well, things that a lot of golfers actually get wrong. Thinking that he had to swing the golf club in a straight line, thinking that he had to keep the club faces square to the target for as long as possible throughout the swing. These are common things that we see. And so by allowing him to change that and see how that incorporates into his swing, we start to see some changes in his swing. There are other misconceptions as well. Ball position, he thought he had the ball in the middle of his stance. In fact, we exposed the fact he had it way forward, and that was actually encouraging that incorrect swing plane, that rather very steep swing plane that actually took him out of line. And by changing that ball position and allowing himself to swing around, all of a sudden had a much better chance of consistently hitting the ball straight. We saw a significant improvement in the consistency and the straightness of his shots. So that's really kind of the things that he was looking for in the beginning. I know we can actually get more distance with him in due course. There's plenty more that we can do, but that'll have to come on another day. So I hope you've enjoyed the session, and if you have, please remember to like and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you in our next session.